tuning into my channel called Take Heed to the Message with Abang Anwa. It just means queen. How are you? It's good to see y'all. We are going to discuss some foolery this morning, as usual. The title of this nonsense is The NFL Sent Out a Negative Message When It Came to the Sanders Family. Okay? And a lot of y'all may not agree with me, and that's fine. Okay? We're all entitled to our own opinion. But I want us to address something real quick. Do you know that there's not enough love songs that we talk about our fathers? Did anybody know that? There's not enough love songs that we talk about our fathers, but there is always love songs when we talk about our mother. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that a little crazy? A little crazy, right? So the Western society is not used to seeing fathers, you know, get, how can I say, fathers get any recognition for children growing up. You know what I'm saying? The Western society. Fathers are looked at as like a rag doll, that fathers are nothing. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a Western society. But when we look at different cultures, you always see the children, they bow to their fathers. You see them get on their knees, they bow to their dad to show respect towards, the father and the mother. But they regard the father in high esteem. But in the Western society, we don't do that to the fathers. We don't care. Okay? So when I think about it, I said, wow, they don't have enough love songs when you're talking about the father because we don't care about the dads. We don't care. The Western society looks at the fathers as they ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you see fathers stand up and they instill in their children that you can be great no matter what anybody says, you are great. You are amazing. What you want to achieve will come to pass. When you hear fathers talk like that, they'll say, oh, you're making the child arrogant. They'll say that, the child will be big headed because, you're praising the child. Did you know that they had a problem with Buster Rhymes calling one of his sons king, my young king? Okay? They had a problem with him calling his son king. Anytime you have a father that uplifts his children, or just particularly his boys, you know what I'm saying? This could be a man of any color, okay? That when he uplifts his boys, it's always a problem. Like, oh, you're going to make him arrogant. You're going to make him have a big head, But when it comes to our girls, you got to hype them up. Hype them up. You know what I'm saying? The girls are like sugar and spice and everything nice. But when you talk about the boys, you don't want them to have confidence in themselves. You don't want them to believe that they can achieve all things if they put their mind to it. So when we saw all this nonsense happening with Deion Sanders' family, a lot of black artists, a lot of black news media, you know what I'm saying? A lot of black people were like, oh, because Deion Sanders, these kids are arrogant because of Deion. Okay? Because of Deion, these kids are arrogant. And So are we not supposed to tell our children that they can do anything they put their mind to? Now, don't get me wrong. The son had some things that was going on that he could have done better. But he's not like any, you know what I'm saying? There's other children from different cultures that have done the same thing as Shador. Am I saying his name correctly? I hope I am. So there's other people from different cultures that have done the same thing as him. But they accepted them in the first and second round, right? But they took him all the way to the fifth round. Now, allegedly, a lot of y'all saying that, oh, he's not that good, you know, he's not that good, you know. I'm just saying. So, I want us to get into this song right here. I was going to play Phil Collins, okay? But we going to get into this one right here. All right, here we go. A song to a father and son, Fall on Me. It is never recognized in the Western society that we supposed to love our fathers. Our fathers get the last end of everything. They get the last end of everything. They are the last to be loved. They are the last to be remembered. Even when they pass away to glory, you'll see the children crying so hard. When they had time to say that they loved their father when he was here on earth. The thing is, we don't cherish and understand the love of a father. We don't. Now, I'm not going to get up here and say, like, okay, every father is amazing. Take heed cannot say that. I can't say every man is amazing. Okay? But what I will say is that when you see a father who is in the child's life and he raised these children to be great men and women. Now, all children ain't going to be on that same straight and narrow. Some going to do some foolery, okay? But long as you, the father, bring them back to the straight and narrow, okay? So when you seen how Dion has been raising these children, when he got custody of those kids, and he was raising these children, the mother was there, of course, but he instilled a lot in these children. It's a problem when children are raised with a man that has a king mindset. Because we rather hear stories that the child was raised with a single mama, lived in a crack addict neighborhood, mama worked 2 jobs, and he didn't have enough money to eat in college. And so these are the stories. But when we have a story of a young man who was raised with both parents, it's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? The story is not good enough. The story is not good enough. It has to be heart-wrenching. You know what I'm saying? You being raised with 2 parents, that's not good enough. Okay? That's not good enough. We need to have you in a crack addict home and, crack addict neighborhood. They had gangs everywhere and stuff like that. For you to be adored. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be average. What's average? Average. living in a two-parent household, or both parents coexist together in raising these children, even though they may not live in the same household. But the children get teaching from both parents. No, the story is not hard enough. The story has to be gut wrenching, especially when you're looking at an African American child. Now, we're not going to play the race card. We're not going to do that today. We're going to play the fatherless card today. Okay? So you would rather pick front runner 1, 2, 3, and no fathers. I would rather pick no fathers than ones that have fathers. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Green Beans, Renee, how you doing? I would rather pick the ones who don't have fathers, that I have to deal with that king mindset about where you're putting my children. Where's my child going? Now, Dion had a lot to say about where his son was going. And that is what the Papa Bear is supposed to do. He had a lot to say. People were mad about it. Why are you talking like that? Oh, his son might not even get picked. Because he was sure his son was going to get picked. So he had a right to say where his child was going to go. But when you hear black men say they're not going to choose this, they're not going to choose that, you have people that will say, how dare you? And Caucasian fathers too. Oh no, my son's not going to go there. He's going to go here. This is what we're going to take. We have a problem. When fathers get up here and they speak and they say, this is where my child is going to go. I know my kid got talent. This is where my kid is going. Y'all immediately get upset. When a man with a king mindset says, my child is not going here. Because see, with the mama, you throw anything you throw at the mama good, Oh, long as my baby made it. She may not even know really anything about it, but long as my baby made it, or she heard somebody tell her, somebody came and told her something, long as my baby made it. Don't even know how this boy gonna get treated, long as my baby made it. But a father is gonna ask some questions. He's going to ask some questions. He's going to want them to, let him know what's going to happen with his kid. If anything happens with his child, who's going to take accountability? Who's going to take accountability? So when you see a man, excuse me, y'all. When you see a man that has a king mindset, and he's not going to let you do whatever you want to do to his child, now we got a problem. Because you can trick the mama. You can say stuff to the mama, make the mama feel good. The child don't know what they signing, okay? But the daddy, you can't do that to the daddy. The daddy tell you, give me the contract, I'll get back to you. Let me run it through. I'll get back to you. Daddy is sit up all night, read that contract, see what's going on. Do you think Shador, I know I'm saying his name wrong, but do you think all the stuff that he has been doing, all these commercials he's been doing, he's been, getting in here, making money for the school and stuff like that. Do you think all the stuff that he is doing, that he did it without reading those contracts? Nah, he took them contracts to his daddy. Daddy, this is what so-and-so want me to do. Hey, 18, how are you? They want me to do this. They want me to be the face of this. And his father let him know, now listen. This is what you'll take. This is what you won't take. Because they're asking for too much. They're asking for you to do this. And I want you to get into the NFL. So you can't be doing this. Okay? But see, mama don't know these things. Not all mamas know about the NFL. I ain't gonna say everybody, but we gonna say not all mamas know about the NFL and contracts and what can mess this child future up. So daddy is there to give the guidance and correction. Daddy is there to make sure his son is put in a good, a good area, a good space. But we don't uplift stuff like that. No, it got to be gut wrenching, horrible stories that daddy wasn't there, daddy was a crackhead, daddy was a drug dealer, daddy abandoned me and mama. It cannot be daddy was there. This is for a Caucasian man too. It can't be daddy was there. And the boy got a stable mindset. It'll never be. It'll never be. Because why? The broken stories make the most money. The broken stories make the most money. The broken stories make the most money. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. We gonna discuss her breakdown of the nonsense that happened with the prank phone call. Okay? We gonna discuss the foolery that happened with the prank phone call. Okay? And people are calling for the coach because the coach leaked Shador's number. So people are calling for the coach to be fired. Now I don't know if that's gonna happen, but the problem is that how come your son, who is 21 years old, thought that that would be good? You know what I'm saying? Like, when people are waiting for this to happen, draft day, they're already uppity. They're already like, they're excited. They're, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when are they gonna call me? You know what I'm saying? So when you get the call and somebody says, oh, you're gonna have to wait a little longer, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? What the hell? And so Pink Book Lessons had broke this down. She did an amazing job. Okay? Pink Book Lessons did an amazing job. And we gonna talk about it. Here we go. Here we go.
Hear me out. Now that he has been drafted, I think he's like what, the fifth draft pick or something like that. I don't know nothing about no football, but I do know bull when I see it. First things first, let me say this here. He didn't have a story behind him. Had he had my mother was on drugs, it wasn't in my life, I was raised by my grandmother, my daddy was in prison all my life, he would have been got drafted. That's what it is. It's the whole complex savior mentality that they have. I picked you up. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been. That type of whole story. They love a sad story. And because he had a father, of course he had a mother present, and they had good money in their family. He was not poor. He didn't come from the ghetto. They didn't raise him up from poverty. This is why, in my opinion, they keep calling him cocky. He had too much going on. He did not have anything for them to save him from. He had too much. That's the whole problem. He's out here, sporting watches that a lot of couldn't afford, so that's a problem to them. You have to have a story for them. Oh, I grew up struggling. My mom was on drugs. I didn't know my dad. My grandmother was on food stamps. He did not have that story. It does not make it don't make them feel good. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't give them that whole, if it wasn't for me, God complex that they like to have. That's my opinion, and you can argue with your mammy on it.
It's been days since the 2025 NFL Draft. Now, at this point, you can say the star of the draft was Shador Sanders. Since the first day of the draft,
Now, I want to stop right there before Pink Book Lessons cook, okay? But the woman before her, she's talking about a color type of, problem, okay, between black and white. But my situation, what I'm saying, is a father, a child that has a father, and a fatherless child. Yes, a fatherless child is deemed more desirable than a child that has a father. Because the ones who have fathers, y'all got to answer to the king. You got to answer to the king. No matter what color this man is, he is a king. So you have to come with the right shit before daddy get in here and agree with you. So mine is not coming from a color point of view. Mine is coming from he got a daddy. He got a daddy. And just like you got Caucasian children who play NFL, they daddy is who you see. They daddy is who you see. When you trying to sign contracts with that boy, the daddy is coming through the door first. He want to read it. My son can't sign it until I read it. Okay? I got to get my lawyers in on this. Daddy ain't gonna let that boy just sign anything. He ain't gonna let him sign anything. But mama excited. The wig and everything, she's shaking and stuff and shit. She's excited. Okay? She ain't read nothing. This could be a Caucasian woman, Hispanic woman, black woman, of course. She excited and shit. She did, I didn't read anything. I'm just excited telling her son, sign this, sign. Daddy like, wait a minute. Nah, hold on. I got to read this. Give me till tomorrow. We'll get back to you. You know what I'm saying? Daddy will be the first one. We'll get back to you. Mama is excited. Take the first offer because mama excited. Okay? But daddy got to get in here and say, what do my son got to do? What is it that he got to do? You understand? What do you require from him? So daddy got to check the paperwork. But mama get in here, she excited. Oh shit, wait a minute. You thinking about how many cars the boy gonna buy you? How many houses the boy gonna buy you? Hey Steven, how many houses the boy gonna buy you? You excited. But daddy trying to worry about if this boy gonna have enough money and will he, you know what I'm saying, how he gonna invest this money. That's what daddy thinking. So that generational wealth can continue in his son's bloodline. Okay? But mama is thinking about right now. Okay? Let's, right now. And not all women think about finances. So it's the right now for me. You understand? That's right, Stephen, a retirement plan. What we gonna do if anything happened to you? What's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Daddy's thinking of all these things. But anyway, let's get in here and let Pink Book Lessons cook, baby. Here we go.
And it went on through the whole weekend. He's the number one talked about player after the NFL colluded against him, making him fall all the way down to number 144. No doubt about it, all the owners are obviously stupid. Their conniving game backfired, especially on the Falcon coach and his sorry loser son. People are calling for that coach to be fired and held accountable because how did his son even get Shador's number in the first place? Nobody had that number except for the NFL coaches. Nobody else.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good,
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
It's kind of been legendary.
Hey, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
Damn, I thought that was a real person that called you, but it actually wasn't, was it?
No, I told you. That was a specific phone number, not in my name, not in anything.
So you bought that phone just for the drive?
Boost Mobile sent the phone just for the drive.
So how did they get
Nobody had the number.
That's what I'm saying.
The number was only in the email thread that the NFL sent out to only teams.
That's outrageous, bro. So the NFL leaked it, basically.
I'd like to see the face of that kid, because sometimes you need to be embarrassed. So your dad is a defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. You go into his laptop computer and find a number for Shador Sanders. You prank called him. First of all, it was cruel and it was classless to Shador. It jeopardized your dad. What if the Atlanta Falcons didn't believe it was your dad, that it was just you? What if they had believed it was him? And I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't believe the defensive coordinator for the Falcons. I don't believe that man did. I don't believe he had anything to do with this. I think it would be unfair to accuse him of that. But what if the Falcons didn't believe him? What if the NFL didn't believe him? Your dad could have lost his job. And because you wanna prank somebody, okay, and be cruel and insensitive, knowing what Shador must have been going through, you would be some privileged little brat that would do something like that.
Nobody got that number but coaches, strictly for that reason. That's all. No, but the thing is, but the thing is, why get mad?
Let me stop it because Green Bean says someone else did it to another player. They should get in trouble too. And probably why this thing blew out of control is because this young man posted it on social media. So everybody saw the prank, okay? Maybe the other one didn't post it, but if he did, that should be addressed too. Because they said that these numbers of all these young men were on an email, okay? Nobody names were there. It was on an email, okay? That these are the players or whatever. I guess it had to be their names next to it. Shador just said something like that. The name wasn't next to it. I don't know. But the numbers were there. So on a special email that the NFL only had. So this is a secure email. It wasn't leaked to anybody. So this young man did some foolishness, went into his father's laptop and printed out this thing and then started calling Shador. Now, I'm going to share something with you. The dream of a lifetime that a lot of young men have when their father is successful is to copy what their daddy do. The dream, let me say that one more time. The dream of a young man is whatever the father has done while this child was growing up, and it was successful. The child always want to copy. I mean, I ain't lying to you. Tiger Woods, look at Tiger Woods, his son, same thing. Okay? Anything that is successful, the boy child always want to copy. If your daddy was in the army and your daddy became a general, or either he just went to the army, you copied him. If your daddy is a police and now he became the chief of police, most young men copy what their daddy did. So that makes them proud, and it makes the father proud as well. There's nothing wrong with that. But something like this, you don't do this to hurt someone. Do you hear what I'm saying? And because when you look at the NFL, you immediately look at the NFL, and from this incident right here, it lets you know NFL don't like fathers. They don't like fathers. I don't care what color the father is. They don't like fathers. Because why? Fathers hold them accountable. What's going to happen to my boy? Either he be Caucasian, either he be Caucasian, he be Asian, he be Hispanic, he be African American. I want to know what's going to happen to my son. Just like I told y'all a few minutes ago, mama is excited. That's right. My boy done got it. But daddy want to know what's in the contract. What do my boy got to do? Okay? I want to know how much money you going to pay my boy. And daddy don't get excited. Daddy say, we going to get back to you. We going to get back to you. Even if you tell daddy this is a chance of a lifetime, daddy going to tell you we going to get back to you. We gonna get back to you. See, mama getting in, she excited. The wig done shook off and everything. She jumping around and everything. Shoes and everything done fell off. But daddy is excited in his heart. But he telling his son, and he looking at his son looking at him, and he tell these people, we'll get back to you. Let us take the contract home first. Because daddy want to check the clause in the contract. I don't care what color this man is. He want to check if that boy gonna be okay. But mama is worried about what kind of house this boy gonna buy her, what kind of cars, how much money she gonna have in her bank account. The NFL don't like daddies. They can't stand when the father is in these boys' lives. Because you want to know why? Daddy gonna hold them accountable. Wait a minute. Why the money so low? You know what I'm saying? Why the money so low? What kind of nonsense? You know, what you want my boy to do? Wait a minute. How many years? Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? So daddy gonna hold them accountable. This right here shows you the NFL don't like daddies, but they love them mamas. They love them mamas. Wanna know why? Mama get in there and say, that's right, sign the first contract. You ain't read shit. You ain't read shit. Sign the first contract. That's right. You ain't read nothing. You didn't read anything. You excited. That money gonna drop. You excited. But when daddy get on scene, daddy like, wait a minute. You want my boy to do what? Wait, you know what? You know what? We get back to you. We'll get back to you. This right here shows me y'all do not like men. Y'all don't like men. See, now I want you to go out there and throw the ball. That's it. But I don't want you to ask me no questions about the money. I don't want your daddy saying nothing to me about the money. So I like when the daddy not there, because mama don't ask no questions. Mama just asks what kind of car I'm going to drive, what kind of house you going to put me in. Mama don't ask no questions. Now, I ain't going to say all mamas. We got some mamas that they used to the game. But daddy's going to be there and say, wait a minute, my son, the contract look crazy. Now, you got to fix this, and then my boy can come with you. You got to fix this, and then my boy can come with you. Y'all don't like daddies. Y'all don't like daddies. The NFL don't like daddies, but you want them to watch you, though. You want them to watch you buy all your merchandise and everything, but you don't like daddies. Because once daddy get on scene, daddy gonna hold you accountable for his son. He gonna hold you accountable. You're not gonna dog walk his son. I don't care what color the man is. You ain't gonna dog walk his son. Let's get into it. Here we go. Mm-hmm.
They want you to have a certain type of reaction to it. They want you to feel the music show. You know what I mean? They want you to feel bad. They want you to show it. But I ain't tripping. I'm saying nobody got that number though. Nobody has a number. Yeah.
Coach Jeff Ulbrich need to be fired. Atlanta, what are y'all doing? How are you allowing confidential information out like that freely? There's no way that anybody else should have had access to what Jeff had access to. So in my opinion, it's his fault. He should be let go ASAP. Y'all out here looking real incompetent right now, and his son better stay out in them Atlanta streets, because it's definitely not safe for him. His daddy should have whooped his behind. Especially at 21 years old, he should know better. He ain't too old to get rocked. Nah, not when dealing with something like this. You better get him before somebody else get him.
Look at you. Now you apologizing because they trying to jump you. So goofy alert. The guy who prank called Shador pretending to be the Saints trying to recruit him is now apologizing to Shador and social media for doing the prank. You see, they were dumb enough to record themselves doing the prank, calling Shador, having him believe that he was getting drafted, completely forgetting that Instagram police are stronger than the FBI. They found out he's the Falcons' DC son, and they believe his dad gave him the number, which people are saying fused into more that the NFL was trolling Shador. Well, now, due to the backlash of people telling him if they catch him outside, he finna catch the hands, he has now put out a whole statement, even though originally none of them were trying to say that he had anything to do with it. Some people are saying that it was a harmless prank, it shouldn't go this serious, while others are saying that...
Do you believe it was a harmless prank? Y'all put it in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe it was a harmless prank. Put a 1 in the chat. If you don't believe it was a harmless prank, put a 2 in the chat. If you believe it was a harmless prank, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't believe it was a harmless prank, put a 2 in the chat. I'm going to share something with you. You too old to be doing pranks. 21 years old, you too old to be doing pranks. With your daddy job, though. You know what I'm saying? Something important like that with your daddy job. With your daddy job. Something important like that. I switched it up. Okay, 18. Sorry, baby. I apologize. I was trying to land it. I apologize for that. With your daddy's job, you thought that made sense. You could get the, you know what you could do? You can have your daddy lose his job. Like if the NFL wanted to make some, do some shit, you could have your daddy lose his job. You 21 years old. So you telling me you not responsible at 21? This is why I say these kids is not built like us. 70s and 80s babies, these kids are not built like us. Like we had common sense at, we gonna say 5. We had common sense at 5. Like if mama said, when I'm not home, don't open up the door, you ain't opening up the door for nobody. Even if auntie came to the house and was knocking on the door. You understand? Even if auntie came to the house and knocked on the door and she called your name, you didn't move from that couch. You didn't move from that couch. Okay? She had to go outside, call the payphone to call your mama. Use the payphone to call your mama. Tell your mama that that she's there to drop something off. And then the phone rung in the house. You knew to pick up the phone. Mama said, pick up the phone on the 3rd ring. You went to the phone. You counted how many times the phone rung. Okay? This is the 70s and 80s, baby. Shout out to the 70s and 80s babies. Mama said, pick the phone on the 3rd ring. You picked the phone on the 3rd ring. Your mama said, boy, that's your auntie. Girl, that's your auntie knocking on the door. Now let her in. Say, mama, I knew it was her, but you told me not to open up the door. And then mama said, yes, you did a good job. You did a good job. Okay? You did a good job. Mama, proud of you. Now let your auntie in. She dropping off some groceries. Now you go open up the door. Your auntie said, boy, I know you heard me call you. And you told, my mama said, that's what we say. My mama said, I'm not supposed to let nobody in this house when she not here. So that's what I was doing, auntie. And she said, well, then you're not going to get these snacks. I said, well, at least I'm not going to get no spanking, auntie. I'm not going to get no spanking. Okay? And she put the foot in it and said, oh, well, I'm leaving. Make sure you lock this door. Don't let nobody in this house. And you tell auntie, don't worry. I'm not going to let nobody in here. You lock up the house. Boom, boom. Y'all remember we used to have those deadbolts. Boom, 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 boom. And put the chain across. Please now. Please. Let's not act like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't do dumb shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We did. Mama said have this house clean before she got home from work. Was the house clean, y'all? Was the house clean? Come on now, my 70s and 80s babies. Was the house clean? The house was clean. The house was clean. The house was clean. Mama ain't had to tell you 3 times. The house was clean. Shout out to the 70s and 80s babies. We lived through a lot of foolery. And we here still today. Okay? Can you imagine? And he thought at 21, this made sense. You 21 years old. Now, Green Bean said they prank called somebody else. Okay? They prank called somebody else. Now, only thing why this thing went viral because this is Deion Sanders' son. So we don't know who else they prank called and did that foolery to. Okay? We don't know who else. Only why this thing is going viral is because it's Deion Sanders. Now, Green Bean said it happened to the tight end from Penn State, Tyler. Am I saying his name right? Tyler Warner. Now, see, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. Knowing that this is a special day for all these young men who've been waiting and they're so happy that they were going to get, drafted. This is not right. More than one player during the draft. Was it the same people? Was it the same boy? Now, see, this is what makes you know that, daddy, you have a problem. 21 years old? The boy don't have no common sense at 21? Now, Pink Book Lesson said, they're going to see you outside. They're going to see you outside. Somebody going to rock you outside. Now, God forbid, I don't want to see nobody get beat up. I don't want to see nobody get beat up. Okay? I don't want to see nobody get beat up. I don't want to see nobody get beat up. But this was a special day for all these young men. And they were excited. And for you to call them, and how did, so that means you bust into your daddy's computer, printed out the list of names, and then you just started calling people and acting like your father at 21 years old. You're supposed to have more common sense than that. Okay, more common sense than that. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Also, donate to the page as well. Why do I only got 13 likes? That's not nice. That's not nice. Now, I have greeted all y'all that came in here. Now, that's not nice. Okay, be nice now. If you like the content, please hit the like and subscribe button. Okay, and if you don't like the content, baby, scroll up, baby. Scroll up. You don't have to watch me. You don't have to watch me. But be nice. There's 3 dots right there. Okay? There's 3 dots right there. Okay? Hit those 3 dots. Okay? And you'll see the like and unlike button. Okay? Be nice. Now, Green Bean said the FBI is involved. Ooh, that's nasty. Renee said it will be a crime soon to prank call NFL draft call. I bet you it will. I bet you it will. Let's continue watching this. Okay, here we go.
They found it funny trying to put Shador down because, as everyone was claiming, people in the NFL was basically trying to humble him or make an example out of him, and it backfired. Now they tell him, bruh, we don't care for your apology. The minute you come outside the dorm, get ready. Yo, you be safe.
Hey, yo, Jax Olbert, you know you done effed up, right? I said you know you done effed up, right? You thought you were hilarious. Sending a prank call over to Shador Sanders. You thought that it would be hilarious. The lows would never end. Well, 2 days later, we know it was you. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I wouldn't want to be Jeff right about now. Oh, who is Jeff? That's your dad. I would call him the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator, but I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't know how much longer he's gonna be in that position, bud. And whose fault is that gonna be? Whose fault is that? The irony of you hating on Shador Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, only for you to be the reason why your dad likely winds up jobless. It don't pay to hate, y'all. It just don't. Let this be a lesson. You play stupid games, you win nothing.
Yeah, if the Falcons administration had any integrity left, they would let Jeff go right now. There's no way he should be allowed at any Falcon facilities. Him or his grown 21-year-old son. Y'all need to go ahead and pack it up. Go back to California or somewhere. I don't care where y'all go. But they need to get away from anywhere 2 hours within 285 quick, fast, and in a hurry. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this below. Shout out to our brother Dark Power. I appreciate you for all of your support for the channel. You can...
Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. Y'all, I know y'all already like and subscribe to that sister channel, but if you are not, please hit that like button. Get in there and rock out with Pink Book Lessons. This woman brings nothing but the truth, okay? But the uncomfortable truth is The boy done messed up for his father. That's the nonsense right there. Okay? The boy done messed up for his father. Now we don't really know what they're going to do with the father, but I'll be damned. You know what I'm saying? I'll be damned. 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? And so that means the daddy, laptop is not secure. 21 years old, and you thought that made sense. Let me do a prank call. You know what I'm saying? Let me do a prank call to Shador. All these young men you did a prank call to. I don't know how many you did it to, but you know what I'm saying? It's not right. On that type of special day, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they already, some of these men, when they get called, they cry a little bit inside. Now, they might not show the tears in the front because most people hate to see men cry. I don't know why, because we want our men to always be hard. You know what I'm saying? You can't never cry. A man always have to cry in private, okay? Because if he doesn't, everybody dog walk him. And that's probably what y'all wanted to see Shador cry. That's probably what y'all wanted to see. Oh, I need to see him broken. But it didn't happen like that. It didn't happen like that. Probably because his father told him, don't worry. It's coming. Don't worry. See, that's the difference of having a father with a king mindset and a father not with a king mindset. And I feel bad for the father that your son is like that. I feel bad for the father that your son is like that. Can you imagine? And so for you to take time to do some foolery like that. So this tells me right, you know what I'm saying? This tells me right from the door, the NFL don't like fathers. They don't like fathers. They can't stand fathers because fathers ask questions. Black Queen, how are you, honey? It's good to see you. Who else I got in here? Jesse, how you doing? Diane, how you doing? Black, I'm just let you know. I'm just let you know, okay? I was about to say your name again, Black Queen. I'm just let you know. The NFL does not like fathers because fathers hold you accountable. Fathers say, let me take that contract home. Let me look at it again. Let me look at it. Let me see what's going on. I want to see where you going to put my boy at. But mama, like I told you, is excited. Mama want to know where the house is going. How many cars this boy going to buy me. Not talking about his retirement. Not talking about his signature brand and all that other stuff. I want to know certain things. Daddy want to know, can he do certain things? Can this and this, can he go into business with so-and-so and still be able to play football? Daddy is asking questions. While mama is excited about how much money the boy gonna get. So y'all like the ones that got the fatherless. The ones that's fatherless. These the ones we like. Because now we could just throw the contract at him. Mama ain't read nothing. She told him to sign on the dotted line. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some women who know these things. They know what to do when they see these contracts. Some of these women are just in this field. They know what to go, when to go, and where not to go. You got some tough mamas out there that know what to do. Don't get me wrong. But it's not a lot of them like the men. The men asking questions. The men are asking questions. I'm not excited. You know, the daddy excited. The daddy is excited. But he can't let you know that he excited. Daddy can't let you know he excited. But he said, I got to take the contract home. The boy is looking at the daddy. So he looking at every move the daddy made. And so now, when he grabbed the contract, say, I got to take the contract home. We'll get back to you. So now they get on the elevator and say, Dad, what happened? Say, listen, they want you. They want you, boy, but we got to go home and check this contract. We can't just let you go get excited about this thing and they lock you into some foolery. See, Daddy gonna check. Daddy gonna check. You understand? Anyway, I never wanted to say anything about color. I know a lot of people in here, they want to talk about, oh, because, you know, Shador's color, who raised him, this and that. No. My problem is y'all don't like the daddies. Y'all don't like the daddies. I don't care if the daddy is white, Hispanic, Asian, African American. Y'all don't like the daddies. When you come across a child that got a daddy, they a problem. Because daddy wants you to make sure his son is okay. Mama is worried about the dollar signs. I know Renee, he's a big bear, Renee. He's a big bear. He just dropped his whole body right next to the mic. He's so big, it's aggravating to me sometimes. And he always wants to stay over here. It's aggravating. And then he come looking at me like I did something wrong. I fed you. I fed you. Okay? I fed you. You was in the backyard. Like, what else do you want me to do? This is the dog life. What else do you want me to do? Okay? Yesterday, one of the neighbors, I don't even know, she must live across the way, and she thought that it was okay to cut through my backyard, our backyard, okay? She thought it was okay. She didn't see him, okay? She didn't see him. She didn't see him. He was hiding. So he saw her. He saw her. So he hid a little bit. And when she got close, he jumped out. And she was looking in the camera's corner, and she was looking like, and I was like, that's your ass. Next time, pay attention. Next time, you can't just walk in everybody walkway. You know what I'm saying? You can't. She lost her mind. She was scared, Renee. Yes, I would be scared too. He looks like a linebacker. I would be scared too. I told you the boy eat whole chickens, okay? I told you he eat whole chickens. So yes, I've been scared too. Okay, but you can't be walking on everybody walkway on the side of their house. You don't know what's back there. Okay, well anyway, she learned today. I saw her. I came out. I looked. She said, "Oh, I didn't know." I said, "Yeah, you gotta be mindful when you walk into people's backyards. You don't know what's back there." She says, "I didn't know he was like that. He looks like a bear." Yes, I know. So anyway, that's it. Okay. No, listen. She wasn't my neighbor. She wasn't my neighbor. She wasn't. She was across the way. She wasn't across the street. She's from a whole nother street and was trying to do a shortcut through my, okay? Now, everybody know how he look. Everybody know him, okay? When they see him, okay, they know. They know him, okay? They even talk to him, okay? So, yes, he knows the neighbors. But this one, he didn't know. That's why he was hiding. He was hiding in the cut by the trash cans and the recycling. Hiding right there. The dog is too smart, okay? He's too smart. He looked and said, "Oh, she done messed up." You know, she done messed up. He probably said, "My mama don't even know she back here. She done messed up." He jumped out there, scared the shit out of her. She walked all to the front. I said, "Hello." She said, "Oh, I didn't know." I said, "Yeah, you got to be careful when you're walking on, somebody walkway." Okay? Yeah, who does that? When I'm walking on the other side, there's like a big gap between our street and another street in the back, okay? When you walk, I don't walk on people, I don't walk on your property. I'll go all the way to the street. I don't go to the service road. I go all the way to the street and then come around. I'm not going to walk through your yard. Don't listen. If you walk on somebody's property, be advised you get what you see. Is that right? Is that right? Or that's just only me saying that? Be advised, you get what you see. Okay? I can't do nothing about that. I can't do nothing about that. Okay, listen. He's very, he scared the shit out of her. And I didn't even get the cameras yet. I didn't even check the camera yet, but he was already barking. I was like, what the hell? And it was loud, like thunder roar and stuff like that, like Thundercats and shit. I said, wait a minute. So anyway, that was, that's why he don't even care though, Renee. He just drop his body everywhere and then look at me Like, I did something to him. Like you didn't feed me enough. I fed you, okay? I fed you early in the morning. You eat before everybody else, and you go outside. I don't have time, okay? Now, anyway, that's enough talking about this baby, okay? That's enough talking about this little dog, okay? He think he grown. Now, all I want to say is that I'm ready to see more fathers get in here and thug it out with the NFL because y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. This supposed to be a email that is secure. And how he get it? The 21-year-old. How he get it? They gonna have to start locking these computers or something. Okay? How he get the email? He was planning to do this foolery. Anyway, shout out to Pink Book Lessons for always having amazing content. I love that sister content. Okay? I love that sister content. I mentioned the case of Cassidy. Am I saying the name correctly? The case of Cassidy. The two, because they were talking about the similarities of the Cassidy case. Am I saying that right? Cassidy, Allison. I'm saying it wrong, I know. So they're saying similarities to the Anthony family. Okay? Carmelo Anthony. Okay? They're saying the case is similar. Okay? And I'm going to share something with you. I want to see how it play out. I want to see how it play out. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't talk about this case. This thing happened 3 years ago. Okay? We on to something new, y'all. So this case happened 3 years ago with a young man in his school, okay, was in a big fight, okay, in the boys' bathroom, okay. Now, they said that he got jumped, okay, but the first conversation, the boy did not get jumped. The one boy for him and the other boys who was in the bathroom was filming the fight, okay?
In Allison's home recovered in what police suspected was blood. Allison told police that he only stabbed Ramirez once, but when authorities examined Ramirez's body, at the hospital, he was noted to have been stabbed in the chest, back, legs, and arm. And days after his arrest, Allison's bond was changed twice. Once when he was charged with assaulting a family member on May 9th, 2022, which added $15,000 to his total bond amount. And the second time after he was indicted on murder charge June the 9th, 2022, when his bond was reduced from $1 million to $175,000. Allison later bonded out of Bell County Jail, but was required to wear an ankle monitor as.
So Allison was the one who carried the knife. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. And Martinez is the one who got shaked a couple of times, okay? So what I wanted to say is that they're trying to make this the same as Carmelo Anthony case. Now, this happened 3 years ago, okay? This case right here happened 3 years ago, okay? So this young man, Allison, the last name's Allison, he's been in his house on house arrest and got the ankle bracelet and all this other stuff like that. So they're saying that these cases are similar. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now we're going to hear Judge Joe Brown, okay? He's discussing it, with the real Dana. Shout out to the real Dana. Please, guys, get in there and like and subscribe to her page. More than likely, all of y'all already like and subscribe to her amazing content with Judge Joe Brown. But let us continue. Here we go. Wait a minute. Here we go.
For being released from jail while legal proceedings took place and an eventual trial date was decided on. So, trial proceedings encountered delays. December 13th, 2023, a trial date was set for May of 2024, but it was delayed multiple times throughout the year. And now the trial has begun this past Monday, April the 14th, and is expected to conclude April 25th. And I want to play this clip here because this is
what you're looking at. Anytime somebody pulls out a knife when it's a fist fight situation, that's a punk move. That's the girlishness of the person's upbringing because they have emasculated the country and they've made emotionalism something that is to be emulated rather than avoided or shunned. So we bring this on ourselves.
right. So I want to play this clip. This is from day one this week of the Casey Allison self-defense trial.
Part of the highly anticipated trial for Casey Allison, who is charged with murder in the stabbing of Joe Ramirez at Belton High School back in May of 2022.
News 10's Isabella Quintanilla was in the courtroom all day today. She joins us now outside the Bell County Justice Center with more from the first day of the trial. Isabella.
Yes, that's right, Lauren and Gordon. The 156th District Court was packed today with families, friends, witnesses, and others, all who have been waiting nearly 3 years to learn the fate of now 21-year-old Casey Allison. We first heard from the state prosecutors who are charging Casey Allison with murder, saying he was intentionally cutting and stabbing Joe Ramirez, to which Allison pleaded not guilty. His defense attorneys then gave their opening statement implying it was self-defense. Defense attorney Zachary Boyd told the jury, quote, Casey was in the fight for his life, where he was jumped by 5 friends, end quote. We heard from 5 state witnesses today, including a 911 record custodian, the Belton ISD Director of Safety and Security, 2 teachers who saw the aftermath of the stabbing, and the school nurse. At the start of the trial, they played 5 911 calls from 2 staff members, 2 students, and a parent. In one of those calls, a girl identified Casey, claiming she saw him running through the parking lot with a bloody nose. They then played security footage from several cameras showing Joe and 3 others walking into a bathroom, Casey and another boy walking in shortly after. 5 boys, including Joe, then ran out of the bathroom and split up, with Casey once again running out shortly after. We also saw footage of Joe running down the main hallway, bleeding onto the floor and then collapsing. Blood immediately began to pool as teachers and staff quickly surrounded him. Many of Joe's family and friends were in tears as they watched this all play out. One witness, the first to get to Joe, said, quote, his breathing was rapid and shallow. It appeared to me as if he had a punctured lung. Another witness, the school nurse, said they gasped when they cut open Joe's shirt, finding a gaping wound across his left chest. She also shared that a student that had been in the bathroom was brought to the nurse's office and was on the phone with his mom saying, quote, Casey stabbed Joe. Now, at this time, we are still hearing from state witnesses, and the trial will resume tomorrow at 9 a.m., but we will, of course, be keeping you updated throughout this trial.
You want to share any thoughts on that so far?
It's always a punk play when somebody comes out and pulls out a knife at a fist fight. Now, as I said, I don't think you should run away from a fight, but if it gets to be overwhelming, get up and leave. You don't need to say, I'm going to stay here and go knife somebody. That's just a punk play. That's not even a gang fight. That's just...
But here's the thing, because now it's testimony coming out that he was jumped. So we're up.
I want to share something with y'all. How can we get in here and say that this makes sense? Because he brought this pocket knife to school. How did it get inside the school? Because this was a boys' bathroom. So how did the pocket knife get inside the school? You understand? How did the pocket knife get inside the school? They have magnetometers. So how did that happen? Okay. Now, they said that Joe Martinez is like a bully. He's a bully of the school. He like all his fights on social media and this and that. Okay. So did Allison already know? Did he know that Martinez wanted to fight him? Did he know that? Because now you got him saying that they jumped him, but the boys in the bathroom they saying that there was no jump, that he liked all those boys around him so they can film what was going on. But he's saying this was self-defense. But he brought the knife to school. You understand? He brought the knife to school. How did he get it in? Allison is a Caucasian child. Okay? And Martinez, of course, you already understand, he is a Hispanic child. This happened in 2022. Let's continue.
Guys involved.
That's what most fights are, not most, but a lot of them are in high school. And well, I don't know what the hell these punks do these days. But when I was growing up, that was quite often the scenario. So, this is human history. And we've got these deviances over the last few years since we've effeminized the country so much.
So the difference right now with this and Carmelo, first of all, there's no evidence that has came in yet with the Carmelo Anthony case. Everybody's running around on social media as if they know the evidence. No evidence have come in. The DA who's on Carmelo Anthony case had said he doesn't have the evidence because the police are still gathering evidence. Carmelo Anthony has not been indicted. The grand jury is not going to be put together until June. So in this particular case with Case and Allison is similar in a lot of ways, but they already, this is the trial. This is when all of everything, all the evidence will be presented and both sides can argue. He is saying self-defense. And now, I have a feeling that a lot of people, especially young people, want to try to use self-defense. And I also want to bring into the fold the race issue, right? This is a white guy. And Carmelo Anthony is a black guy. But when you go on social media, you have people making this into a race issue. But the issue isn't about race. It is about young people being violent.
Yeah, so, I was so vociferous.
Fatherless homes. Fatherless homes. When you answer stuff like this, it's fatherless homes. You understand? Young men are not being raised by men that have a king mindset that will hold these boys accountable. Something that Renee put in here, and I said, darn it, this is what they used to use when I was young. Real quick, they'll pepper spray you. They will pepper spray you. And I got pepper sprayed when I was young. In Edison High School. Worstest day I ever had. This girl thought it was easy to take me down with some pepper spray. And she had a whole thing of how she was going to get me. I was coming out of the lunchroom with some friends. And she was like, can I talk to you? And put me to the side. And I never liked the girl. She pulled me to the side. And all of a sudden, she just, shh. Oh, my God. Y'all, the thing is that our children are afraid to take ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? They are. No matter what color they are, they're afraid to take an ass whooping. So I got to bring a weapon to hurt somebody. You understand? Like, how did you get the knife in the school? The magnetometer was not working that day. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Now, Renee said that pepper spray hurts, but you lived to see another day, sister. Yes, it did. It did hurt. It did hurt. But I'm quite sure her face hurted too, because I was welling on that ass. Once she hit me with that pepper spray, I was able to grab her because she was punching me. Baby, oh my God. Back in the day, when you used to get into fights with people, people would go to your house and see your mama. Nobody does that no more. But back in the day, people would go to your mama house and they would sit down, y'all would talk. The mamas would sort it out and let it be. But you couldn't say no craziness to my mama. Like if we already had whooped your child ass, you couldn't say no craziness to my mama. Because my mama be ready to hurt you. So you always had to be respectful to my mama. She would get indignant with you. There'd be a whole problem. Okay? So anyway, let's get back to it. Let's let them discuss it. Because both of these cases are similar. Okay? But we want to put the race card into this bad boy. But both of these cases are similar. And only why Carmelo Anthony, okay? Only why that case is getting played like that, because this is color. It's to divide us. You understand? This is color. We getting in here. Let's start tearing up shit, okay? But when you hear the Allison case, everybody is quiet, okay? Everybody is quiet on the Allison case. Here we go.
Perfect life.
Commercial. Right when in. Can you imagine? Just came right on. Hold on, y'all. We about to get back into it. Let me see. Nope, that's not it. Hold on, y'all. It just changed for me. Here we go.
There were other guys involved.
That's what most fights are, not most, but a lot of them are in high school. And well, I don't know what the hell these punks do these days. But when I was growing up,
and Joe keep calling them, Judge Joe Brown keep calling them punks. I listen. Here we go.
Quite often the scenario. So, you know, this is human history. And we've got these deviances over the last few years since we've effeminized the country so much.
So the difference right now with this and Carmelo, first of all, there's no evidence that has came in yet with the Carmelo Anthony case. Everybody's running around on social media as if they know the evidence. No evidence have come in. The DA who's on Carmelo Anthony case had said he doesn't have the evidence because the police are still gathering evidence. Carmelo Anthony has not been indicted. The grand jury is not going to be put together until June. So in this particular case with Case and Allison is similar in a lot of ways, but they already, you know, this is the trial. This is when all of everything, all the evidence will be presented and both sides can argue. He is saying self-defense. And now, you know, I have a feeling that a lot of people, especially young people, are going to try to use self-defense. And I also want to bring into the fold the race issue, right? This is a white guy. And Carmelo Anthony is a black guy. But when you go on social media, you have people making this into a race issue. But the issue isn't about race. It is about young people being violent.
Yeah, so, you know, I was so vociferous, vehement on this with Tuesday's X-Space because as this kind of nonsense percolates through social media, kids listen to this and they think this is justified because they hear some ignorant bozo pontificate about it is. It's not. See, when you say I engaged in self-defense and the self-defense effort involves the use of deadly force, were you in a situation where a jury will buy your claim that you were reasonable in believing that you were going to be killed or suffer life-threatening injuries or something that would be leaving disfigurement, disability, or would take a long and painful time of recovery? If you are not facing that, And it's not under circumstances that a jury is likely to buy. You're way out there on thin ice, a long way from shore, and the water is awful cold. If you go take somebody's life and all you are is just scared of getting a behind with it.
So I want to play the second clip. This is day 2 of the Case and Allison trial.
He didn't want to fight. That's what 2 former Belton High students said about Case and Allison in court today.
The trial of the suspect accused of stabbing and killing Joe Ramirez resumed this morning in Bell County, bringing 4 new witnesses to the stand.
News 10's Madison Herber has been in court all day and joins us live now with more on what was uncovered. Madison?
Good evening, Lauren and Gordon. The witnesses included 2 people who were former students that were in the bathroom the day that fight broke out, Tito Chamel and Angel Murillo. Chamel explained to the court that he was a good friend of Joe Ramirez and was in the bathroom with Ramirez and Allison when chaos ensued, and he even caught a portion of that altercation on video, which was shared today with the jury. And there was also a Belton Police Department detective who...
So at least they have video footage of what really happened, because Allison says he was jumped. So at least they have footage, and hopefully, it is what it is, but they have footage about what happened with Ramirez. And he was not just shanked one time, he was shanked multiple times. Okay? So with that being said, how and we still got to come to the understanding and the beginning. How did the knife get into the school? How did the knife get into the school? Because the child has to walk through the magnetometer, right? And then also they have to check the child book bag. So how did this all happen? You understand? This is crazy. In the boys' bathroom in school. Lenard, thank you, baby, for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you for being my first donation of the morning. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for taking time to come rock with me. If y'all feel the content, please like and subscribe to the page, okay? Please donate to the page as well. I got something for you, Lenard. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking time to donate to the channel. It's heartbreaking, y'all, when you hear stuff like this, because these kids, nobody wants to take an ass whooping. Nobody wants to take an ass whooping. I'd rather we get in here and we fight. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather we get in here and we fight. Nobody can take an ass whooping anymore. Lenard, thank you for the $20 super chat. Here we go, baby, right here. Thank you, Lenard. Once again, I appreciate you. You say you welcome. I have been catching. Catching it after hours. Sorry, I ain't been in there in that much. Okay, no worries, no worries. A lot of stuff going on with work and just family issues, medical wise. So that's why I haven't been. That's why I've been absent a little bit. No problem, Lenard, baby. Thank you. I appreciate you for donating to the channel. I know life catch us. Life catch us, baby. I understand. So I appreciate you. Okay. Now let's get back into the foolery. Okay, let's get back into the foolery. Shout out to Judge Joe Brown. He is breaking this down, baby. And shout out to the real Dana. Okay. Here we go. Let's finish.
Detective who revealed the crime scene photos from that day. And then there was also a friend of Allison's and an acquaintance of Ramirez, Raina Barber. She took the stand and explained to the court how she was trying to calm Ramirez down just moments before the fight broke out. Now, the photos from the crime scene followed a trail of blood droplets around part of the school, leading to a pool of blood where Ramirez collapsed. The detective explained that it was after getting photos of the scene, he talked to a witness who provided a statement and video of the fight that started in the bathroom. Video was replayed from yesterday showing the school hallway where you see the boys entering the bathroom and then leaving sometime later in a rush. And then the short video caught on Shamel's phone of what happened on the other side of the door was played. Shamel explaining that what he caught on video shows Ramirez taking the first swing at Allison, and then you see Allison pull out the knife before a loud scream is heard and the video cuts off. Barber said Allison didn't want to fight and just wanted to make it to graduation, and Shamel said in the moment it didn't look like Allison wanted to fight. Barber also said that Ramirez and his friends were known to fight, and Shamel saying Ramirez liked having his fights recorded, and that this fight was planned, but no one expected it to happen on school grounds. Barber said it was...
Okay, so the young lady Barbara says this fight was planned, but nobody knew it was going to be on school grounds. So this is why Allison brought this the knife to school, because the fight was already planned. So is that still is that still you think he have a leg to stand on, because the fight was planned? He knew about it already. He could have went and told somebody. He could have got his mama involved. He could have got his daddy involved, his grandma involved, his grandfather involved. He could have got the principal involved, the school involved, anybody, the counselor. He had time to tell somebody. He had time. He knew that this boy Ramirez wanted to fight him. So he had time. But what did he do? He brought a knife to school. He had time. Allison had time to report it. He had time to cry out and tell somebody. He had time to go to the police if the school didn't listen. He had time, but he took it upon himself to bring a knife to the school. The Caucasian child took his time, took time to bring a knife to school and said, I'm going to deal with it my way. And your way, my dear, was not the answer. Your way wasn't the answer. You had time. The young girl Barbara said that y'all knew about the fight. You knew the fight was coming, but they didn't know it was going to happen on school grounds. And Ramirez she said Ramirez liked his fights being taped. He liked his fights, and more than likely they went on live. You know, they do that thing in school. They go to live for everything. So more than likely, Ramirez is the bully in the situation. He's the bully because he liked his fights on live. He's the bully, probably the one that likes to do all types of nonsense. The school can't control him. There's no father in the household being raised by his mama. Some children can have their fathers in their lives, but if the fathers don't have the king mindset, they can't regulate these children. Do you hear what I'm saying? Good morning, Underrated Darkness. How are you? Zulu, how are you? It's good to see you. Zulu said, morning, great, listening to you. Okay, honey. Thank you. I appreciate you. So, this is the uncomfortable truth. He knew the fight was coming. Yet, this is why he brought the knife to school. He brought the knife to school. Let's continue. Let's continue. Here we go.
Normal for Allison to have a knife on him, but she knew he had one because Allison told her he got one for protection. An altercation was described by.
So she said, Barbara says, I never knew that Allison carried a knife. She said, I never was aware that he carried a knife to school. But he did tell me that day, I guess, he had a knife on him. Okay? Now I might have heard that wrong, but y'all going, let's go back just a little bit. Let's go back. Y'all know how I do sometimes. Okay? Let's see.
Said an argument broke out at a prom after party, and it was likely that Ramirez and Allison verbally fought over a girl. Shamel told the court that Ramirez.
Wait a minute. I didn't get that far. So this was over a girl. They got into this problem because of a girl. They got into this argument because of a girl. So Ramirez wanted to fight Allison because of a girl. Let's continue. Here we go.
Allison in the bathroom that day, and you could feel the tension.
This is one of the worst poisons that has been infused into American society. You have a verbal altercation. There is no such thing, and it causes the youth who grow up hearing this. They're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 17, and they've been hearing it all their lives. Arguing, yelling at somebody is not a combat. It is not an altercation. But mainstream media and the ignorant keep making it like it is. It is not. And to get the sense of it, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. In other words, the hurt's supposed to be physical. But nowadays, if somebody has hurt feelings, that's supposed to be equivalent to broken bones. And this is one of the things that leads the youth who do these punk play things into the idea that when they're yelling at each other, displaying anger, that is, in fact, a fight. It is not.
Between the two. Barbara is seen talking to Ramirez on the hallway security footage, visibly upset. She started to cry as she explained to the court that she was trying to tell Ramirez that the fight isn't worth it because they are about to graduate. Court wrapped for the day just 20 minutes after a fifth witness was brought in, Josh Grimes, another good friend of Ramirez, who was also in the bathroom when the fight started. So they will be back here tomorrow morning at 9, where the defense will continue to question Grimes.
So Barbara was the only one that had wisdom. Barbara was the only one that had wisdom because she told Ramirez it's not worth it. We about to graduate. It's not worth it over a girl. Okay. So Ramirez was in his feelings about some girl because that tells you why he was ready to swing on Allison once they got in the bathroom. He ready to swing, thug it out with Allison, and didn't know that Allison, he had a pocket knife. And so this cannot be, how can you say, his defense is, this is, what was his defense? Allison's defense is that, and I know I'm going to say it wrong, self-defense, okay? This was self-defense. But how can it be self-defense if you had already knew that the fight was going to occur, okay? You didn't go and tell nobody, and you had the peace be still. You never carried a peace be still, not a peace be still, I'm sorry. You never carried a shank before, okay? But now you started carrying a shank now because you wanted to protect yourself. So is this self-defense, y'all? If he had already knew that the fight was going to occur and he didn't tell nobody? Now, I don't know because it depends on what state it is. Renee, thank you so much for dropping my, keep dropping my, ubnracksfashion.com. I appreciate you, honey. John says, take heed. I see I'm dropping in on some nasty work. Great Thursday, Scorpio. To you too, sir. How you doing? So this is the uncomfortable truth. This is the uncomfortable truth. Ramirez and Allison, they knew each other. They knew each other. They know that they were supposed to fight. But if you look at Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, they didn't know each other. They didn't know each other. Allison shanked this boy more than one time. But in Austin Metcalf's situation, he shanked that boy one time. Both of the situations are horrible to hear. But here you are, you have Allison, who is a Caucasian boy, who shanked a Latino boy more than one time, and you have an African American boy who shanked Austin one time. They never met each other. They never met each other, never seen each other. They have no links. Nobody said, oh, I'm going to fight you this and that this day. Nobody said that. But Allison and Martinez knew they was going to fight. This is why Allison went and got a pocket knife to protect himself. It sounds horrible, y'all. Because at the end of the day, these are our children. You're not supposed to go to school and be ready for war. You understand? You're not supposed to go to school or go to a school event and be ready to shank somebody like you in prison. You understand? And this is where the fatherless homes come from. Or when we're having babies with men who are not in a king state of mind. Because a man that is in a king state of mind, he's going to put his children in that same mindset, to be mindful where you are, to be mindful how to behave. When people make you mad, how to regulate that anger. You understand how to protect yourself when somebody is trying to fight you and stuff like that. Because you have two choices in a fight. You have two choices in a fight. You have a choice to stay, you have a choice to leave. Everybody has two choices in a fight. You have a choice to stay and you have a choice to leave. Now, did Allison go in that bathroom because he knew Ramirez was in that bathroom? You understand? He didn't go in that bathroom to go use the bathroom. Did he know Ramirez was going to be in that bathroom and he was ready to do whatever he needed to do? But they not publicizing this though. Between a Caucasian and a Hispanic, they're not publicizing this because we don't need the Caucasians and the Hispanics to be at war with each other. You understand? We don't need them to be at war with each other. But we need the Caucasians and the blacks to be at war with each other. But no, not the Latinos and the Caucasians. We don't need them to be at war. But the blacks and the Caucasians and the blacks and the whites, we need them to be at war. You see that? Now, this happened 3 years ago. But, you know, when stuff like this happened, it just, oh, wait a minute, let's keep this low. Even the news, the mainstream media, let's keep this low. Let's keep this low. We still ain't discussed about the Florida State University. We still ain't get into that. We still didn't discuss one of our sons in Dallas that deleted 5 people in that high school. We ain't talk about that. We still ain't talk about the 6 gang members that deleted one of our children that was only 7 years old. Okay? We ain't talk about that yet. But no, the ones that give everybody the fire to fight, we got to talk about that one. Because the Caucasian and the African American relationship is always on fire. Every couple years, some shit happened that we got to get in here and get on fire with each other. We got to get in here and start doing some bullshit. But you see, this is a Caucasian and a Hispanic. They done suppressed this. Oh no, we don't need them to get in here yet. We don't need them to be fighting each other yet. Let's get in here and get the blacks and whites to be fighting each other. Y'all, if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Donate to the page as well if you feel the content. Guys, I thank you for y'all coming to rock with me, coming to show me love. I appreciate it. For the ones who just stopped by, for the ones who just came in, I appreciate you. Please hit the like and subscribe button. If you need to donate to the channel, Cash App, Venmo, Super Chat is available if you feel the content. Also, if you want to shop with us, our family business is called ubnrexfashion.com. Mercari, POSHMARK, and eBay is available, okay? Also, if you want to buy merch, scroll to the top of the page. You will see shop or store if you're interested, okay? Guys, let me share something with y'all. We got to start paying attention to what is going on behind the curtain. The smoke and mirrors are real. Do you hear me? The smoke and mirrors are real. Same situation, but the uproar is not the same. Same situation, but the uproar is not the same. Wallace, how are you, baby? It's not the same. Because they need the black and white folks to be out here battling it out with each other. We need hatred and stuff like that to battle it out with each other. You understand? But the Hispanics and the Caucasians is not supposed to be getting it in. Not yet. Not yet, at least. Let's get the whites and the blacks out here acting foolish and doing nonsense to one another. Because you even have content creators calling on foolery. Do you hear me? You have some content creators calling on foolery for us to get out here and do. And a lot of y'all agree with this foolishness. You will not see Take Heed do nothing that anybody call for any foolery. I don't have time. I don't have time. Y'all want a race war so bad, you can taste it, and some of y'all can't even protect yourself. You want a race war so bad that some of y'all can't even protect yourself. You just out here talking shit on social media for no reason. That's from both sides. Guys, I enjoyed my time with y'all. Thank you so much for coming to rock with me. Everybody have a wonderful and joyous day. You feel me? I just wanted us to talk about both of those dynamics because, you know, people don't want to hear the ugly part. They never want to hear the ugly part of this foolery. They never want to hear the ugly part. They just want to hear the part that makes sense to them. Both cases are similar. Both cases are similar. At the end of the day, 2 children have died. The word of sympathy does not ring a bell to anybody. Sympathy is what we need. Understanding is what we need. Instead of us being out here ready to battle it out with everybody. Y'all take heed to the message. You understand? Take heed to the message, everybody. Y'all be safe out here in these streets. Okay? Be safe out here in these streets. Talk to these children, y'all. Take time to talk to these kids. Fighting ain't always the answer. You have 2 choices. You have a choice to walk away and you have a choice to stay. But Allison had a choice to tell. Allison had a choice to go tell somebody, but he didn't. So he had a way to get out of the situation. And also, our son Anthony had a way to get out of the situation too. I don't want no smoke. He could have just grabbed his book bag. I don't want no smoke. He could have left. Both situations, you had a choice to go or stay. Stop letting pride catch you. That's what we got to start learning how to teach these children. Don't let pride catch you. Pride is dangerous. I kid you not. Pride is dangerous. Pride will get you in some shit that your ass can't cash. Pride is dangerous. That's for every culture. I don't care where you come from. Pride will get you killed. Take heed to the message, everybody. We going out with Anthony this morning. We going out with Anthony.
The devil tried hard to break me down. Went through my trouble and came out with a smile. I'm better take it. Let me tell you how the devil tried hard.